Hey, I'm Michelle, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do the first TBR video in forever and the first one for this year. I wanted to show the books that I'm keeping in my TBR basket. This is something that has made a comeback. There's actually quite a lot to go over. Here that I'm currently reading right now, there's some in here that I plan to read in the very near future. I don't know if that's for January or when it will come around, whenever I get to them, I guess. But I do have plans for them. And then also, because I have decided to do a couple of challenges and then the usual Goodreads challenge. So let's go ahead and start with the books that I'm currently reading. Right now, I am reading Dune. I literally just got this for Christmas and I am loving it. I am on page 355 out of 794. Annotating it as well, and that's been a lot of fun. I picked this up like a couple of days right after Christmas. I was given a lot of books for Christmas. I did make a video on everything that I got for Christmas if you want to check that out. The next book that's in my basket is Great Expectations. I started this at the beginning of December, I believe. Oh no, maybe like November. I can't remember exactly when I started, but it was definitely before Christmas, and it's been taking me a long time to get through this. It takes me a long time to actually pick this book up just because I am annotating it. I'm really loving it though. I am not that far in. I'm only 96 pages in. This edition has, oh man, I got a long ways to go. Like 570 pages to go. I really am loving this book. And now that I like started Dune, I've kind of put this one on hold. So I kind of like am eager to finish Dune so that I can get back into this book. The next one that's in my basket is Kurt Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse-Five. I started this quite a while ago. For being such a little book, I'm surprised how long it's actually taking me to get through it. The narrative style is very different, makes it challenging. It is a little bit slower read than I was anticipating. I thought I would like fly through this book. I think I did a lot of research on this book before going into it, and I think that maybe it kind of set me up to expect to see certain things, but like we had to build up to get there. Like it's just now starting to pick up and I'm over halfway through. I'm on page 136 out of like 2 something. So there's less than 100 pages to go. Basically, this book is about Billy Pilgrim. Everyone probably knows what this book is about. I don't know, but this book is about Billy Pilgrim was prisoner of war, centering on the infamous firebombing of Dresden. So this follows his journey through time, because after the war, he suffered a lot of PTSD and he started to kind of like disassociate. So he would like walk into the bathroom and then like have these flashbacks of being back where he was in the war at different times. So he suffers from PTSD. He gets taken by aliens and he was there for like a really long time. They're friendly aliens and I guess they did studies on him or something like that. By the time he made it back to Earth, like no time had passed, even though in his mind a lot of time had passed. He's flashing back through different moments in time, and then also has memories of what it was like with the Trafalgarians or the aliens. It's really quirky and it's funny. Like the humor in it is like really dark, and there's this thing like every time somebody dies he says, "So it goes." It's kind of like ties into his like really dark humor, like the way he kind of makes light of certain very dark concepts, I guess. Oh my god, the way he talks about his fiance is like, yeah, anyways, it's very, very interesting. So yeah, working on that one. The next one I threw in there was Lord of the Flies. This one I had 2 copies of. My son Michael wanted to read this book. All of a sudden, just out of the blue, he was just like, hey, I want to read this book. Sounds really good. It's like, okay. I gave him my little bit older, more beat up copy, even though I really like that cover, but I really like this cover too. It was kind of hard to decide, but I wanted him to have a copy that he can keep and annotate and highlight in. I would really like to read this one so that we can discuss the book. He says that he's really loving it, but it is a little bit more challenging. He's having to reread a lot of passages. He's 12, by the way. But I am just like so thrilled at how much, even though it's a challenging read, like I thought he would give it up, but he loves it so much that he just keeps keeps hammering on, and so I'm really proud of him. I'm glad he really likes it. So I really want to read it and so that we can talk about that. So that one's in there. This one is kind of a workbook, and this is called Find Your Voice, a guided poetry journal for your heart and your art. I was like, your heart and your heart, what? It's just a really pretty like little book. It has like all these like little illustrations and stuff like that, like photos, lots of art in here, and you can learn about different poetry techniques, and then they give you like a prompt so that you can put that newly learned technique into practice in this workbook. Milk and Honey, everyone knows of this book. Modern poetry, so may or may not be a video about that one. This is another Christmas gift from my brother called Wicked by Gregory Mcguire. If you didn't watch my other video where I talked about my Christmas gifts, so my brother found 3 copies and he sent me, our sister, and got himself a copy of it. So the 3 of us could buddy read this book. That was just like such a cool Christmas gift. This made it to the basket because I really need to get to this one. Like, I don't think I'll be able to get to it. I might be able to start it later this month. It all just depends. This book is a retelling of Wizard of Oz, and it tells the story of the Wicked Witch. I recently found The Wizard of Oz, the original by L. Frank Baum. I wanted to read the original, so these two kind of go hand in hand. The next 4 books are kind of for a video. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but I'll tell you what the books are. I can go over these very quickly because I don't really need to talk about them because everyone knows about them except for me. So that is The Great Gatsby, Animal Farm, 1984, and To Kill a Mockingbird. I did say that I wanted to join a couple of reading challenges. So the first challenge I have going on is the Goodreads reading goal, and I set my reading goal for 100 books again. I consider doing like 130 or maybe 150 again, even though I'm like way overshooting what I think I can actually read. But I have read that many books in the past. I have tried. This year I made my goal, barely, not last year, the year before, 2020, I set my goal for 150, but I only made it to like 85. So I just set it for 100 again, and it should be easily attainable. I think if I reach 100 early, I might up it to 150 and then see if I can't reach that. The next challenge that I would really like to focus on, it's only 12 books. I like this challenge because it's like 1 book a month that meets a specific prompt. It is called Read Your Bookshelf Challenge. This is something I really want to focus on this year, among a few other little things. And this is the same thing that I wanted to focus on last year. I just think that I can do better this year. That is to read the books on my shelf. This challenge is hosted by Chantel Reads, and I will leave her information linked below. There's 1 prompt per month, and the first prompt for January is to read a book that has a quiet word in the title. So for this one, I'm gonna pick The Silent Patient. I really scoured my shelves looking for something else. This is the same one that she recommends on her channel, but I scoured my shelves looking for anything else. And then there was one other one, but I need that book for another challenge towards the end of the year. So Silent Patient it is, which is completely fine because I've been dying to get to this book. It's way overdue that I have read this book. And it's not like a huge book either. I think it's completely manageable even with the other things that I've been reading. I'm really excited to actually, so now this is gonna go in the basket as well. And if anyone else is gonna do this challenge, I kind of have like a recommendation video coming up for all of the prompts, and it's kind of what I sort of plan on reading. And then I think that this idea literally just came to me right now, but if you want to do this challenge and you want to buddy read any of the books that I mentioned in that video, that would be really fun. You can go ahead and keep an eye out for that video. And if I ever remember to, I will also link it in the description box below. That's what we're starting with this year, and I will see you soon. Bye.